All right, hello everybody and welcome. This is live coverage of the Cape Coral Gabfest tonight here in Southwest Florida, and we are welcoming hams and anyone from all over the world to join us tonight for our amateur radio net. And basically, if you're not an amateur radio operator, all a net is a date, time, and frequency when we all get together and we discuss whatever's going on in amateur radio. And it's usually open for whatever discussion that we want to have on there. I want to mention that coming up in just a little while tonight at 9 o'clock tonight, 9 o'clock, right about the end of this net, we are premiering the product review for the UV5RM. That's the product review for the UV5RM, which is a neat little radio that I'm actually quite impressed with. And so you'll get to hear more about that tonight at 9 o'clock here on the channel. We also still have the SSTV, the slow scan television feed, going out on this channel as well. And on our other channel, Starship After Dark, we actually have the 7.2 over there. Back by popular demand, we've got the 7.2 where people want to listen to the fun, the banter, the craziness that happens over on that frequency. Go over to at Starship After Dark and give us a subscribe over there and check out the 7.2. We are live tonight from the Starship Studios in Southwest Florida, and it is currently right now just about 7:50 p.m. Eastern. And what we're basically looking at here on the screen, the upper right screen, is your live VHF propagation map. This is important on nights when we have this particular net, because if we have good propagation, we can actually get people from a lot further out participating in the net. So we're looking for that. There's a little opening around the center of the state there, but nothing really pronounced right there. But we'll keep that up. In the upper center there, that's your current solar data, and we will keep that updated through the net and make sure that you guys can see what the current solar data is out there, because it does change hourly, and we want to see what's going on out there with solar propagation. Mostly that involves HF radio. And then in the lower left, we've got the flight tracker for Southwest Florida, and we can see people coming from up north. That's pretty much what we see on there. You can see, hey Pam, thanks for being here. I'm getting my chat room up now so I can see who is joining us. Just like I said, there is a premiere tonight coming up at 9 o'clock. If you guys could give us a watch on that, we'd appreciate a thumbs up too. All right, let's see here. Why am I not showing myself live? Maybe I got to refresh. I bet you that's what it is. I bet you it's a refreshing problem. All right, yep, there we go. So let me get into the live screen here so we can see who we've got out there. In the lower right screen, that is Radar Omega. And what we're watching is just northwest of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We have a cluster of storms that are severe thunderstorm warned, and we've got several storm chasers out there struggling with internet service, and they're trying to provide some live feeds. So we've got that up there also while we're listening to the net and doing everything else here on the Cape Coral Gabfest live broadcast. The Cape Coral Gabfest is sponsored by the large local radio club here, the Fort Myers Amateur Radio Club, and it is kept alive by amateurs like you and me. And basically, we've all taken a turn with this net, and different people will come in and take over net control different nights. It's kind of scheduled out ahead of time. Let's see. I've done it. There's been a number of other people that have done it as well. I do not know who net control is tonight. We're going to find out in about 7 minutes. Pam from customer service, thanks for being here. And if there's anyone else out there, just let us know in the chat who's there, and we will say hi. Let's see here. If you're in the Southwest Florida area and you have an amateur radio and a license, you can go to 146.490. That's Simplex on VHF or 2 meters. Go to 146.490, and you'll be able to participate in the net. It is a directed net, so direct all your communications through net control. All right, and we do support free speech here, both on the radio and out in the open. And thank you for being here tonight, everybody that is joining us. I got to tell you guys something. I've been doing this for a little while now, and it is very hard to get people interested in ham radio. It's just not. It's not something that really hooks people quickly. And so I do appreciate what everybody does out there to try to get the word out about ham radio, and that it is something worth checking out, something worth participating in out there. All right, this is a Simplex net. How this basically works is the net controller is in charge, and he will ask for check-ins. Each of us will check in. He'll confirm the check-ins and make sure he didn't miss anybody. He'll give another shot for check-ins, and then we'll start the net. And basically what he does is, in the order that he heard you, that's the order you'll be in. He will come to you and he'll get your first round. They'll normally a lot of times announce a specific topic, or one will develop through the evening. Then as we get to the end of the list, we'll ask again for if there's any people that have arrived late and would like to still get in on the net. If anyone comes in, we then give them a chance to do their first round before we then go back to the top of the list and begin over at the top and give everyone a second chance to come in for the second round. And there you can answer questions, you can respond to things you heard earlier, and then you can stay till the end when they give everyone a chance to do rechecks at the end. And that's important because a lot of times you'll hear something or a couple things and you want to help people out. That's what the end of the net's for. We can stay on there for hours afterwards helping each other out. And then the net controller will close the net, return the network, or in this case, the Simplex channel, back to normal amateur use. And then at that time, the participants can continue talking in a round robin, or, however they want to do it, about whatever it is that they're trying to do. So I'm very interested in a couple things that are going on today. I just took delivery from DX Engineering. Yep, I bought it from DX Engineering. I bought the cable, another cable. See, originally the cable I had for my HF radio to hook up to FT8. See back here, I've got my, right here, I've got my 756 Pro 2. And the problem is when I connect to the serial port in the back, I can't get rig control. I can't get nothing. So DX Engineering offers a plug that plugs into the mic port and another wire that just plugs into the audio out in the back. And what this does is it allows me to get on FT8 without having to use the serial plugs in the back, because it's an older style radio. So I'm going to be trying this weekend when I get the other box back, and we're going to be trying to get on FT8 because I've got my 6-meter beam up there. And I went on and just monitored today, and I was able to pick up FT8 on 6 meters, and there wasn't even really any profound openings. So I'm looking forward to getting back on 6 meters. I'm looking forward to Magic Band season, which starts very, very soon in an ionosphere near you. And I think that it's going to be a really cool year for that, because we've had a really neat spring when it comes to tropospheric ducting. Which is what you see there on the VHF propagation map. That's all tropo, that's lower atmosphere. And then you've got the 6-meter net stuff, which is the next layer up. And then, of course, the HF, which uses all up in the ionosphere. And so really cool stuff going on. So I'm looking forward to Magic Band season. I'm looking forward to continuing with troposphere season here as we get through spring. And then, of course, HF, man, there's all kinds of stuff going on in HF, so you can get on there. So this cable is going to allow me to get on HF with my big radio over here digitally, and that's what I'm looking to do. So that's where I'm at with that. All right, the net should be starting soon. The moment the net starts, I'm going to bow out. You will hear me checking in as well. I have to turn my mic on when I check in, because I'm talking on the radio. So obviously it will mute the incoming audio because I'm on the outgoing audio. So these kind of radios do not really offer a monitor function like some of the HFs do. So I will turn this mic up and I will turn it down using the controller over here when it's time for me to talk, and that way you'll be able to hear me on this stick mic, and then you'll be able to hear everybody else through the radio. Tonight, we are on my ICOM. It's my V8000. It's an ICOM V8000, VHF only. Love this little radio. Bought it at the swap shop, cleaned it up. It works great. It's 75 watt output, and it hears really well. I've got it hooked up to a Comet GP9 that's tipped out at 40 feet, and that's here over my house in North Fort Myers. So we should be able to hear everybody. There's usually about one station sometimes that I struggle with a little bit, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to see if I can get my cameras back here on Radar Omega. I had a bunch of cameras working, and now they've kind of gone out. I think these guys may be taking a break tonight because the storms are not that strong. And so sometimes they'll come out for a little while, and they'll head in because the storms were just not that strong, and they're going to save it for tomorrow. And that a lot of times is what happens. These are both live shots of what's going on there where the weather's coming through. And I will try, this is another live cam here south of Dallas. Let's see. Nope, that one's not coming up either. All right, so I got a couple of them there. We'll see what happens when they turn from orange to green. That means their camera's working. And we'll be able to see their camera. This is this one here. This one's, I'll go ahead and put this one up because it's what we got right this minute. Let's see here. Let's move all this stuff up here. I do this live while you're right here watching because that's how you have to do it, unfortunately. Sometimes I can do some things in the background on the studio screen. Other times, like with Radar Omega, I just have to pretty much just do it right in front of everybody. So there you go. There's some 3 live shots there of where all that weather's coming through. We should...
As far as the radar goes, that some people all around here got it, but it certainly did go around us.
All right, here we go.
Also want a notification, that this Saturday the swap shop will be in operation. Bill White won't be there, but I'm sure Carmine will be there, and Joe and the gang. So hope everybody gets involved. So welcome to the Cape Coral Gabfest. And right now we'd like to take some check-ins. And I'll be taking them at riding speed, so please don't be in a hurry, and I'll take care of getting them down here. This is W8KZT. Good evening, and welcome to the Cape Coral Gabfest.
November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel, John in Matlacha.
KO4EFS. Kilo Oscar 4, Echo, Foxtrot Sierra, Ian in North Fort Myers.
W4CFS, Coral, Southwest Cape Coral. Kilo 4, Romeo Alpha Bravo, Rick in Fort Myers.
KF6, that's JD, Mike, Cape Coral.
Net Control, Whiskey 4, Bravo, Tango, Juliet, Tim in Fort Myers.
KB4AR, Angelo, North Fort Myers.
KI4GED, Charles, Fort Myers.
Okay, we got quite a lineup so far. Do we have any further check-ins right now? If for some reason I have missed someone after the count here, please come back and let me know. We'll start off with John, N6JDH, and he's out in Matlacha. KE4EFS, Ian. W6, Whiskey, Tim. W4CFS, Carl. K4RAB, Rick. KF6FJD, Mike. W4BTJ, Tim. And also Charles. It's, darn, I didn't write down your call. Charles, I should know that for. It's KI4GED. I should have remembered that no matter what. That's at the bottom of the list I have right now. Do we have any further check-ins, or did I miss one?
Yeah, you missed me. KB4AR, Angelo, North Fort Myers.
Roger that, Angelo. Okay, I had you down here. I must have jumped over you there. Sorry about that. So it's KB4AR, Angelo. Any further check-ins? Okay, so everybody's heard what the topics are this evening. Now, we're not limited to just what I have chosen and what has been suggested, but please bring up whatever you want. What I wanted to make a couple of comments here, and then we'll turn it over to everybody, is I had a couple of contacts, which were POTA contacts, with guys that were attending from out of state and out of the country to the Hamvention up there in Xenia, Ohio, which was pretty cool. And I talked to a guy that was in from Australia, which I've never been able to make a contact to Australia, but at least I made it from here to Ohio. That was pretty good. Handhelds and everything, I've got an Anytone and also a Bofang. That's one of the Bofangs that the club has offered to us. I just purchased a handheld speaker mic for it, and apparently it works, so I'll have to be using that. I kind of like that because it's kind of convenient. On the Anytone, I'm looking to get rid of that, and I think Tim, W4BTJ, is advertising that up there in Ohio for me, so hopefully that'll go. But that's what we got right now. And also, don't forget about the fox hunt. If you've done a fox hunt, please let us know how it turned out and what was all involved and how you came about finding your destination. So we'll turn it over to John, N6JDH. Good evening, John, and welcome to the Cape Coral Gabfest.
Thank you, Rick, for taking the net tonight. Appreciate that. As far as handhelds, I have a TID 3, and I think the other one's a TID 8. And then I also have an ICOM 52A. It's not the plus version. And then I have a desk ornament is an Anytone 878, which I don't think I've turned on in a couple of months for DMR. But I've never done a fox hunt. I know we're going to be doing one in the fall with the Scouts with Ryan from an FMARC board of director. And also, when I have a chance and you have enough space, I do have an announcement to make. So with that, back to WAKZT. This is November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel.
Roger that, John. Well, thanks so much. And definitely, whenever you'd like to make that announcement, you're more than welcome to if you'd like to right now.
Thank you. This is November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel. The very first FMARC POTA Information Net will be on Sunday, this coming Sunday, at 8 p.m. It'll be running on the first and the third Sunday of the month on the linked repeater system. It's open for anyone that's interested in POTA or just learning about POTA. It's open to CW, data, phone, whatever you want to talk about. And again, it's the first POTA net. Also, according to Carmine, we're going to call it like the PIN net, the POTA information net. So that's this coming Sunday at 8 p.m. on the linked repeater system. This is November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel, back to net control.
Well, super. That's great. That sounds like a really good fun thing to be attending and getting some information on there. So I think that's a really great addition to the club, and it's great to hear that announcement right here on the Cape Coral Gabfest. Okay, well, sounds like you got a nice, really roundup for the handheld items also. That's pretty cool. So, okay, John, well, thanks so much. And we're going to turn it over to Ian here, KO4EFS. And Ian has been doing such a terrific job with a lot of infomercials on Facebook and everything. And doing a great job there, Ian. And what do we got going on today?
KO4EFS. Yeah, I got my 6-meter beam up, and it's up, and I'm spinning it around with my rope, my poor man rotor. And it's working great up there. I also upgraded the antenna that's on the Broadcastify feed for the amateur radio. It's on a GP1 now, up a little higher. So hopefully we can get everything real crystal clear on there. Other than that, I got a premiere coming up at 9 o'clock tonight, which should be pretty good, where I don't know. It's one of those things where I just you get something that you want to do a video on, and so I did it, and there you go. That's going to be tonight. I'm doing the Baofeng UV5RM I've been talking about, and I did the product review for it. I got done with all the testing, and that comes out tonight. That's the Baofeng UV5RM. Turns out to be a great little 10-watt radio, and I put out a radio. I put out a video about 2 days ago on how we talked about on Thursday. We talked about on Sunday night on the Cape Coral Gap on the Sanibel Loggerhead net. I'm sorry, guys, my mind is out tonight. We talked about how these ham radios are just way too overpriced, and they're just way too complicated and way too many features. And so I decided, I told the guys that night I was going to do a video on it. Well, I did. I released it 2 days ago, and it's going viral. It's got 5,000 views. I've got hundreds and hundreds of comments, and it's going really, really well. It's a topic that people are really interested in. So, like I said, that was just a couple nights ago, and I've got 5,000 views on it already. So going great on that. And finally, for this round, I'm sad to hear that net is planned during the Loggerhead net. I really wish we could have planned it at a different time, because the Loggerhead net generally lasts an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and this net starts 30 minutes after the Loggerhead net, so many of us will be over on the Loggerhead net, because I would have taken part in it. We'll just have to try to remember to switch over when the Loggerhead net's done and do a late check-in, I guess. There's so many other times out there. I've even sent in a list of suggestions and never heard back from the club. But I put in a whole list of suggestions on ways to split these times better. And I just can't believe now that we've got another net that's conflicting again. Oh, well, I guess that's what it is. That's what I got for the first round. KO4 EFS.
Okay, Ian. Well, hey, that's good productivity. Get things rolling and get things straightened out for everything. Again, what is the name of your videos? It's Starship what?
It's on YouTube at Starship Adventures. I don't just do videos. I do lives. I do coverage of events and coverage of manhunts and hurricanes and tornadoes and brush fires. I do all that kind of stuff as well on Starship Adventures. And also, if you check the blog on there, I do 2 or 3 posts a day about what's going on with ham radio. And I got something really cool in the next round that I'm going to announce that's coming up on 6 meters. But yeah, it's Starship Adventures on YouTube, at Starship Adventures.
Okay, great, Ian. Thanks so much. We've been waiting here probably for, 6 weeks maybe now, or maybe more, for that interview on the UV5RM, so that'll be very interesting in hearing that. So I'll be looking forward to seeing that. Okay, the next one up is Tim W6, Whiskey, Whiskey, Whiskey. Hi, Tim.
Okay, this happens every week. I don't get triple whiskey here. I don't know where he's at exactly, but I don't get triple whiskey here, unfortunately. So there you go. We're going to talk for just a minute here to fill the air. This is the Cape Coral Gabfest. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures. They just let me put my commercial out there for to get people to find us over here. And like I did say just on the air there, I do have a premiere coming up at 9 o'clock tonight. It's 8:13 now. I'd really appreciate if you guys would come over and watch. When we get a lot of people that watch a premiere and give it a thumbs up, that really, really impacts the algorithms. So I really appreciate that. Let's see what we got in the chat room. There's my wife in there, and Victor. Hey, Victor, thanks for being here. Yeah, Victor, we are right at the top of Solar Cycle 25 right now. And so, yes, there's definitely going to be a lot more solar activity coming up. Yep, definitely going to be some more solar activity coming up. All right, so Triple Whiskey, he's like me. He's usually got a lot to say. As soon as he's done here, we'll return it back to the net. This is one station that I'm unable to pick up, unfortunately. So there you go. I talk to Triple Whiskey quite often, but only on the repeaters because we can't get each other. I'm at 40 feet with a GP9, and I am receiving on an ICOM IC V8000 75 watt VHF only mobile FM radio, and it's a great little radio. I bought it at the swap shop and cleaned it up and fixed it up. You know, you don't need a lot of money to get started in ham radio. You really don't. You can go to a place like the Fort Myers Amateur Radio Club swap shop, and you can buy something for $25 that you can come home and make you an antenna with a coat hanger and a piece of coax wire that they'll give you for free out there, and you can be on the air. It's that quick. I started building antennas right away. I started building multi-element, multi-beam Yagis and things like that. I went a little crazy, and building antennas is a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun out there, and I really love to build antennas. So if you've never built an antenna, I strongly suggest going online and building one. You can also download this little app called Ham Radio Toolkit. It's what I used to use. I have it in a tablet, and that tablet sits right over on my workbench. And when I'm building a Yagi or I'm building an antenna, I go into that tablet, I pull up Ham Radio Toolkit, I put in the base frequency that I want to hit exactly, and it tells me the exact links. I cut everything just a little long. I put it on my tuner, my antenna analyzer, and I cut it down to where it's perfect. I'm working on one right now. Here's one, guys, that I'm going to be putting up. There's a Yagi. Bought this at the swap shop. Didn't cost that much. It's got one that's just a little bent. I'm going to fix that. But this thing, it's a 5-element UHF Yagi. That's a Una Yagi. Look those up. You can build these yourself. You can build these yourself with a piece of PVC pipe and coat hangers that you stick down through here. And then on the one here, you put a screw on each side, and that's where your two wires hook up. The rest of these are slaves. They don't actually hook up to anything. The only thing on here that actually hooks up is your driven element, which is these two right here. And these are actually easy to build. Now, this is a commercial model here, but these are actually really easy to build. I built them for 2 meters that were 7 elements long, and there was 2 of them that sat side by side. I used to talk 70, 80, 90 miles with these things. It was amazing what I could do with them.
People are driving weird out there. I'm going to go see if Wilbur's out there.
Okay, I don't know why we're not hearing the net anymore. So I don't know. The radio is definitely still on.
Well, great, Tim.
There we go.
Great input there. I definitely have issues with scanning, even on this 9700 that I'm on right now, because I've got like, I think it's 25 or 27 frequencies programmed in here just specifically for scanning, and sometimes I miss them too. And definitely on most of the radios I've had the same issue, so I know where you're coming from. The antitone that I have, I've not experienced that at all, but even on your squelch issue, the Bofang that I have here, which is, I can't remember exactly the model, but it's the one the club issued, I've never had an issue with that at all. It's pretty easy to adjust those, so hopefully I never run into that situation. But that's good to hear that your FT60 and 65s are, those were nice radios, and they still are, so they should be one that would compete heavily with the Bofang units. The Indy 500, so you're going to be watching that. That'd be a good race. I did attend the Brickyard 500 some number of years ago, and the highlight of the race was after we left, and we were walking down the road, and 2 drunks in front of us, the way they were walking, and they face planted down, and then they got up and just laughed and bleeding all over the place and went on. And so that was the highlight of the race, really. But anyway, I think that's it for now. Okay, we'll turn it over to Carl. W4 CFS. Good evening, Carl. Great to hear from you.
And W4CFS returning. Good evening, Rick. Good evening, everybody on the net. Good to hear everybody again. Been traveling for a while again. Just got back last week. Now regarding handhelds, I only had two. I don't have one at the present. I only had two, and that was way back. And the first one was literally the size of a building brick. I think it weighed about the same too, and didn't have much in the way of features. I eventually did get a smaller ICOM, a little one. I forget the model number of it, but good grief, that was like 30, 40 years ago. And haven't had one since. Haven't really had any need for one, really. Probably should get one sometime. Now, as far as the fox hunt, yeah, I got a pretty interesting story on that. I never took part in one, but way back when I just started out in ham radio, the club was going to have a fox hunt. And I volunteered to help the fellow that was setting it up because he needed a little muscle power setting some stuff up. And he was a retired engineer with a whole bag full of dirty tricks for all the contestants like you would not believe. I'll get into that on the second go-around. And it was kind of a fun experience. One of those things where you look back on it, and I'm sure members of the club are still laughing about it today. Anyway, I'll turn it back to Nat. This is W4CFS.
Well, super, Carl. Yeah, we'll be waiting to hear about that. I'm sure it's a good one. Yeah, I had one also from back in the CB days, back in 1970, and I'll probably share that later on also. It was pretty fun, but we had us like squirrels running around looking for nuts that we couldn't find the nuts. So that's the way it was. All right. Well, thanks so much, Carl. We'll be looking forward to the second round here. So Rick K4RAB. I'm sorry, Rick. How you doing this evening, sir?
This is K4RAB. I'm doing great this evening. As for fox hunts, last fox hunt I participated in was up in Atlanta on 2 meters. Pretty wide area, but we did manage to find the fox. I didn't find it until somebody else did. I wasn't the first there, but anyway, so it's been quite a while since I've done fox hunting. I guess I'm capable of it. I just haven't done a whole lot of it. The handhelds, I got a few of them around here. They hardly ever get turned on. I've got one here that I use just for listening, basically, because otherwise, to me, it's they are a limited usefulness because, particularly when you're trying to get into a net, because you just get stepped all over. So I've always kind of joked that maybe what I need to do is go to the swap meet, which we're having one this weekend. Swap meet and go buy me a 500-watt 2-meter amplifier and build a couple of 12-element Yagis and aim them at the repeater. But anyway, that's about. Sometimes it seems that way with the nets. But anyway, so what have I been doing around here? Just let me. There's no repeater to reset, so I'll just hold the thing down. And I've been tinkering with this little HP computer like Ian got. He got 3 or 4 of them. I just got one right now, but I loaded Linux on it, and it seems to be working great with Linux. So I'm happy with that. So I may get some more of those, but they're not that expensive. So have enough computers around here. Want to figure out how to run some Windows programs on them under Linux, and yes, that can be done. So some of these logging programs and WinLink Express and some of this other stuff, I'd like to just go to Linux on all of them and just use it for everything. But we'll see if that's possible. But anyway, steep learning curve to go through with that. But anyway, I haven't even hardly been on HF that much this week. I've been doing a couple of little CW things, which they do each week. Did pretty good Wednesday night. Not Wednesday afternoon. Then we got one tomorrow, so I'll get on that. But the band conditions have varied on those. got a big contest this weekend, the CQ Worldwide WPX CW contest. So I'll probably play with that. We'll fire up the Kenwood for that. I love those because then you could just go at highway speeds on CW, but I have decoders to do that. So plus it gets me used to that kind of speed. So anyhow, enough of my babbling. So we'll just wait till anything else I think of we'll just do on the second round. So I'm gonna pass it back to Ned. This is K4REB.
Well, great, Rick. Hey, that sounds pretty interesting with all your Linux stuff. We'll have to hear as you progress with that for sure. Also, I was going to ask you a couple of questions about your Atlanta 2-meter fox hunt. Could you elaborate a little bit more? What kind of a distance did you cover there as far as, where the guy was located? Well, eventually located, but what kind of square mileage or whatever you had to do to find this guy?
Oh, it was probably an area, it's kind of hard to describe it, about 5 to 10 miles away. So, we had a pretty good length, pretty good area to cover. So, but we did it. This is K4REB.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I know. They're a lot of fun, though. I'll tell you, when everybody gets involved with those, with the club and everything, everybody's going to have a really good time. I think you'll really enjoy it. So, hey, I appreciate your input, Rick, there. I'll be looking forward to the second round here. So, Mike, KF6, FJD, good evening, and how's it going?
Oh, Roger. Good evening to the net, and good evening to you, Rick. Oh, we're doing pretty good. So, fox hunting, no, never really tried that. Might be something in the future I might get interested in. I do have 4 HTs, 3 biofangs, and 1 Yaesu FT70D. Primarily use the HTs for crossband repeat work, and worked out pretty good. It's always good to have HTs for emergencies and stuff like that. You had mentioned CBs, boy, back in this is going way back. Before CB turned into the trash band, it was a lot of fun, and it's actually what sparked me to get into ham radio. So that was the catalyst for me. Looking forward to the swap shop and the Tree of Knowledge. It's always good to see my friends out there shooting the breeze and maybe pick up something at the shop itself. And we're looking forward to the Indy 500 on Sunday. I'm a big race fan, so it's a good way to relax and unwind on a Sunday afternoon. So back to you, Rick. This is KF6 FJD.
Well, super, Mike. Well, thanks for joining us this evening, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you Saturday also, and you guys all will be able to see how well the swap shop has been resurrected, let's say, and it really looks nice. I think everybody will be very happy to see that. So, okay, well, super. We'll be looking forward to seeing you. So, Tim, down there and by the airport, W4 BTJ, how's it going, bud?
Good evening to everyone. Hey, it's going good. As far as handhelds go, got a bunch of them. Biofins, Yaesus, ICOMs, Kenwoods. But as I mentioned to you, Rick, it's the only thing I've really got against handhelds is so many times I've seen around the country, not just here in Fort Myers, but around the country, that a newbie will get his license and get a handheld, and then he'll lose momentum because he just gets disheartened with a handheld, not be able to make any contacts on him. But yeah, that's an unfortunate thing. And I've got, as I told you, I'm giving a mobile unit, power supply, and now an antenna to a young fella or young lady, excuse me, in Ohio, who's disenfranchised with on the 10-watt biofin. I would really like to see what it actually does when it gets it on a watt meter. I've got, I think they're out in the garage in boxes, but I got a few of them, and I bet if they even do 5 watts, I'd be amazed. But if he can actually get them on a good watt meter, it'd be nice to know if he could report back. And I hope to be on next week. I am going to leave next weekend for Ohio for the summer. Won't be back till next fall. So we'll see what happens. Back to you, Rick, W4BTJ.
Well, great, Tim, for sure. Yeah, I remember us discussing that, and that was something I was going to ask everybody for the second round also was, do you think it's good for new hams to get involved with the HTs right up front? Because I can see the disenchantment myself with the HTs, because every time I turn mine on, I can go all through the frequencies, or even come in here and put scan on the 9700, and there's nobody on, hardly ever, unless it's in the early morning and there's these nets going on, and that's it. But it's surprising that they sell so many of them. But I know I've got this Bowfang here, and I got the extra large antenna on it, and I can hit the Cape Coral repeater from sitting here at my desk, and I don't even know where it's at. So I was going to ask Rick, K4RAB, if he knew where that repeater is located. I've never really checked it out to find out where it is, but maybe he can answer that on the second round. That would be great. But yeah, Tim, I guess it'll be you won't be here next week, or what?
Well, I'm not for sure. We're still working that part out. What's been going on with the white size and everything, and I just would like to get on the road and get up there and get my grass mowed. Yeah, I got to do a little oil change and stuff to the tractor, and got things like that to do, but well, there's a whole day of mowing there, and I'd like to get it done. But no, maybe it'll be on. I'm not for sure at this point.
All right, well, hopefully you'll be able to join us again next Thursday. Yeah, that grass up there, it'll probably be knee-high to a 10-foot giraffe by the time you get there. That's going to be a job. Oh, boy. Well, good luck for that. All right, Tim, well, thanks so much for your input. And next one we got up is Angelo, K6, RAB. I'm sorry, oh, gee, I got this mixed up here. Hold on just a second. KB4AR. Why can't I read my writing? KB4AR. Angelo, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah, good evening, everybody on the right, KB4AR. Oh, very good. Good to be on tonight. I haven't been here in a while, and spent the last few days up in Tampa for doctor's appointments, my wife and I both, and things are all good. So, not much to report. I'm sitting here on FT8 as well, having a good time making a lot of good DX contacts tonight on 17, so having a lot of fun. As far as handhelds, I've got two. I have an FT60, which I use as my kind of my go-to. I take that when I go to California and operate out there with it off of a few repeaters in Southern California. And I also have this IC T81A. It's a 4-band that I picked up from on Facebook Marketplace. I haven't really used it much, but it seems to work okay. I've used it on the repeaters a few times, but it mostly sits. So it's about all I have to report. I've never been on a Foxman either, so nothing to report there. So I'll wait to the second round, so I'll send it back to that. KB4AR.
All right, Angelo, great. What does that? You say it's a 4-band at ICOM?
Yeah, it's it does 2 meter 440, I think 912, 20, I guess it is, if I remember right.
Yep, that's a possibility. Oh wow, that's a pretty pretty broad range there, so you'll be able to hit all the repeaters with it, huh?
Yeah, I seem to. I said I haven't really used it very much, so I have it all programmed, but like I said, it mostly sits.
Well, great. Well, you have to get that thing all squared away and see what you can do with it. And if you get a chance to do with a fox hunt, oh gosh, you'd have loads and loads of fun. I just can't say enough about how much fun those things are. So, well, Angelo, thanks for joining us this evening. Stick around for the second round, and we're going to turn it over to Charles, KI4JED.
Well, good evening, everyone on the net, and everybody sounded good tonight. Well, as far as radios, my HT is FT60. I've had it. I keep charged. I got some FT50s that their batteries are gone, and I've had a lot of older HTs, handhelds. Never could figure out how to program a lot of them, and didn't use them. And of course, the batteries are dead on them also. So that's my story of HTs. I recommend people not so much getting into the HTs as getting into a mobile radio with a power supply and outside antenna where they can at least hit all the repeaters in Lee County that way, because the HTs don't go that far, especially tonight on the Cape Coral Gabfest. You're not going to be able to, all over the county you won't be able to do the Simplex, but we got zones for Simplex for the emergency, so that works out there too. So if they have, the Aries has the 3 zones, I think, so it works out that way. That's all I got for tonight. I don't have any, or for right now, I don't have any HF report to bring out or anything like that. So I'll send it back to you, Rick. You're doing a great job. W8KZT, this is KI4GED.
All right, thanks, Charles. Well, great info there. It looks like we had a really good turnout for the FT60. Several people have those. That may be something worth looking into if I can find one or something like that. But that'd be pretty neat. Yeah, well, we'll be glad. Really nice to see you again. Haven't seen you in quite a while, so hopefully you'll be there at the Gabfest or the swap shop for sure, and we'll be looking forward to you. So we're at the bottom of the list, and we're open for some further check-ins. If we have any further check-ins, if you'd please come now, please. Was there anything I did not hear? Okay, let's go back to John, N6JDH. Second round. Go ahead, buddy.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, really just not much going on. Today the bands were up a little bit, but they've been down quite a bit. And I was gone last weekend, so I really didn't get a chance to do much for POTA last weekend. But I'm looking forward to the swap shop this coming Saturday, so I'll pretty much probably see everybody there. But other than that, I really don't have much else going on. Sort of a slow week. Back to net. This is November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel.
Okay, John, super. Yeah, I thought for sure maybe you'd be out doing a lot of the POTA activations and have some more nice information for us. But it'll be nice when you get that info net going, and I think everybody really enjoy that. So thanks for all of what you're going to be doing, and it's going to be a terrific addition to the club, too. Okay, we'll turn it over to Ian, KO4EFS.
KO4EFS. Wow, where do I start? Let's see here. Portables. I've got about 15 or so of them. Baofengs, TYTs. TYT makes a really good couple of really good portables. The I think it's the 8000 or whatever is really good. When it comes to portables, though, all the crap I hear about the terrible, horrible Chinese radios, I don't find that to be the case at all. They say 10 watts, they put out 10 watts. I understand my first Baofeng was a 5 watt and it put out about 4 watts. We used to call that the Chinese conversion. And we would joke on the TechNet that watts were different in China than they are here, and there's a conversion like there is with money. The truth is they've kind of cleaned that up. I mean, this one says 10 watts, and on the 2-meter call channel, it's putting out 10 watts, and that's exactly what it's supposed to do. So I think it's pretty good. My 11-watt Baofeng UV25 does, in fact, put out 11 watts. Matter of fact, the antenna will burn you if you're not careful. I got to watch what antennas I use with it. because it gets them way too hot. I mean, they've come a long way with these, and the whole spurious thing is under control. It's all filtered properly now, and they've just come a long way, the Chinese radios, and so I love them. I have a lot of them, and there you go. Now, when it comes to HF stuff, it's Yaesu and ICOM and Kenwood. It's all over here stacked up. All right, so let's see here. The next thing is fox hunts. I would love to do fox hunts. I would absolutely love to do fox hunts. I've never heard of one within a 100-mile radius of here. And I just don't feel like driving to Atlanta or something to find one. But I just can't believe that nobody does fox hunts. It sounds to me like it'd be one of the more entertaining things we can do with our radios. I mean, wow, I can't wait. It sounds like somebody might be interested in setting one up. I'll help. I'll do it. I'll participate. Whatever. Let me know. I'm in. The next thing I want to discuss, let me get my radio a second. I do set the timeout timer, so in case I sit on the mic. All right. 5-2 day is coming up. This is a 6-meter day on 52525. This is something that they've been putting out. I've got it on my YouTube page. It's the latest post on my YouTube page as far as blog posts. It's called 52.525 day on 5/25 of 25. So in other words, the frequency it's on is the same as the date that it happens, which is this coming Sunday. It's all on 6 meters, and where everybody's just going to turn on 6 meters on the call channel from sun up to sundown and see how many contacts we can make. There's no special logs. There's no stupid contest rules. There's none of that idiotic stuff. All you have to do is just make a bunch of contacts and put them in your QRZ logbook, and that's it. Really, really cool. I'm going to participate in it. I'm encouraging others. I'm even going to broadcast some of it live. So check that out. It's called 52.525 day. And anyway, 2 more things. Real quick, CB. I get so sick of the hate for CB. I don't get the hate for CB. There's a place for everything. Let those people do what they want. I love CB. I used to get my love for radio from CB for many years in that stupid code test that used to keep me out of amateur radio for 15 years because of my dyslexia. CB was what I had, man, back then. And so I don't know. I just hate all the hate for CB. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. And I'll see you guys at the swap shop. I will be coming by Saturday morning. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, and looking forward to checking out the work they've been doing there. The swap shop looks great. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, guys. That's what I got. 7.3s, KO4 EFS.
Well, thanks, Ian, and looking forward to that Starship Adventures at 9 p.m., the premiere. So, okay, sounds great. And it sounds pretty interesting about the 6-meter day. I'm going to put that on there and see if I can do anything. I don't have much of a 6-meter antenna. I've got an R8 vertical out in the back that has 6 meters on it. I'll have to tune it up to it and see what I can come up with. I really was looking forward to possibly getting a 5-element 6-meter horizontal. Matter of fact, it was a Cushcraft one. Guy had one up here in, actually it was in Punta Gorda. I was thinking Port Charlotte. It was Punta Gorda. I think he had one for like 80 or 85 bucks, but I can't find it now, but he probably sold it. But anyway, that'll be very interesting. Hope everybody got that information, and if they're wanting to do a little fun and do a little contesting, so to speak, that'd be a lot of fun there on 6 meters. So good luck. All right, well, appreciate all the info, Ian, and be looking forward to seeing you on Saturday also. And we're going to turn it over to Tim, W6, WWW.
Okay, guys, and we can't hear WWW, so I'm just going to fill this up here with a little bit more information. As you just heard there, we've got a premiere coming up in...
Okay, Tim, thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate all your info today, and
well, that was
be
quick.
Looking forward to seeing you Saturday. Carl, W4 CFS, let's hear about that now.
Thanks for the
W4
sub.
CFS returning. Just one note first.
the event on Friday that Ian was talking about, I read something about that. I believe that's FM, and yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun on that. The thing with the fox hunt, way back when I got started, and I was a novice, and I joined the club, and wanted to find out all I could about ham radio at that point, and they had a fox hunt coming up, and the fellow who was in charge of it and setting it up, a retired electrical engineer, and a lot of time on his hands and a whole basement full of junk to work with, and I guess he worked on it all winter. Well, he needed a helper for it, and that was 40-some years ago, and I was young and agile and so forth, so I volunteered for it. First thing he asked was, do you have a pair of fishing waders? Yeah, I got fishing waders. Well, bring them along. He says, we got to set this thing up, and I need some help with it. So I didn't know what I was getting into with this thing, but apparently what this was in a rural area up in northwest Jersey. A lot of open land, a lot of hilly terrain, wooded parks and so forth. And the start of the hunt was about 5 miles, I guess, as the crow flies from the finish. It was on 2 meters, and they were kind of known for having the fox hunts up there, and there was 2 other clubs that joined in. I guess there was 20 plus participants in this. Well, the rules were that we would monitor the repeater if anybody really had a problem. Of course, on the fox hunt, the target that you're hunting for, the fox, well, that was on its own little frequency, and it just had an intermittent beep that went out, and I gave him a few clues on it. And the thing was, when you found the transmitter, which was usually in a remote area, there would be a clipboard there, and you would sign your call sign on it, date, make note of the time, and leave things exactly as you found it, in case there was, multiple people found it, because this was really not so much a fox hunt as really a wild goose chase. And we told them that we would be within sight of the finish, but they probably wouldn't see us, but if there's a real emergency, they'd find it. Well, the people that participated, this was interesting. Some of these were engineers, and they really went all out for it. We had one fellow there. Well, he was a science teacher at a private school there. He had a doctorate in engineering. And besides, and he had on the roof of his car, he had this five verticals on it. It was a phased array with one in the center, and he was a computer whiz, and he had this thing set up that he could get a computer readout, exactly which direction relative to the front of the car, direction of the car, signal was coming from. And we had others with multi-element Yagis handheld, with both meter readouts besides the audio to determine the level and everything. A lot of thought went into a lot of this. Well, as it turned out, one of the reasons for the fishing waders was at one point they would have to cross a bridge, a small bridge. This is one river there, and just north of the bridge, within very easy sight, a little sandbar there. Well, there was this on the sandbar, very easy to spot, an old rusty tin wash tub there with a mag mount antenna conspicuously on top of it, and this was in the middle of the river. Of course, everybody, they would see this, that's it, got to go find it. Well, they would wade out, and it was anywhere, depending how tall they were, between knee deep and waist deep. They'd have to wade out. And, well, where's the clipboard? And they'd take it, no, this isn't it. And they turn the thing over, and what they'd find would be a nice little note there, And it would say, sorry about this, Life has its ups and downs, go get some dry socks, something like that. Please leave it as you found it. And what he finally did, the way he had this set up was he had the transmitter was located downstream from that site quite a ways, and it was on the banks of this creek, river, if you will. And the output stayed the same on it as far as power goes, but he had a Yagi, a dipole on top, rotatable dipole, that would rotate, and that would give a different direction on the output. So the actual signal strength was the same if you're right up next to it, but at any distance, why, it would vary. And there was no rhyme or reason no pattern to that. So it was a lot of fun watching people. We were in a position where we could see what happened. You'd see on the one road, you'd see the car go by, and then pretty soon you'd see it come back the other way, and we're watching all these cars whipping and zinging around you. And finally, one of the guys, he spots where we were, and he pulled in, and he said, "Okay," he said, "I know it's around here somewhere." He said, "Not here, not with us. You're going to have to go." And the first fellow that found this, believe it or not, with all that sophisticated a lot of them had, the guy who found it first, all he had was an HT with a little rubber ducky, and he found it by body shielding the antenna, and he worked his way, and he finally found it. It was like I think about 300 yards down. It was this was an undeveloped park that they had there, but he had to go through some pretty rough going on the paths getting down there. It wasn't too bad. I mean, people could get down there okay, but he finally found it. It was very well hidden, but it was an awful lot of laughs with that, and it's just kind of pointed out, you know, that no matter how sophisticated your equipment is, sometimes just a little bit of skill and a knack, and I'll tell you, for him to do that, he nailed it right on. So that was it's one of those things in the club up there. I think they're still talking about that one, but they would have these fox hunts from time to time. It was always a challenge, not only to find the thing, but for those to set it up. And like I say, you outdo the others with a bag of dirty tricks, but still stand within the rules. So with that, I'll turn it back to Net, W4CFS.
Oh, that is terrific. What a great story. Yeah, I'll bet that was hilarious to watch, everybody, and it was probably loads of fun. I know when we did ours, the guys hid between two buildings. They were in their car, so they would just get on and talk for like I think it was 30 seconds to a minute, and we had these direction finder antennas that we would try to locate which exactly direction they were coming from, and I'll tell you, we had the hardest time. None of us ever found them, but myself and another guy, we ended up in the same spot and thought we had them, but here we were about 30 or 40 feet below them and couldn't determine where they were, but they were up above us between the restaurant and another building, and but it was fun. I mean, we probably did it for a couple hours and never did get him. So he finally gave up and came down and met us right. I mean, we were probably 100 yards from him, but that's how close we got. But I mean, so much fun. So I think Ian, if you're listening, buddy, if you're going to get involved, I think the club's going to have one. But I'll try to find out when that's going to be, and hopefully I'll put that in on the memos for next week. Whoever's going to be running the net, so that'll be a great one. Well, Carl, thanks so much for the input. What a great story. All right, buddy, thanks so much, and we're going to turn it over to Rick, K4RAB. Second round, Rick.
Okay, this is K4RAB. I don't think I've ever heard anything that convoluted about a what do you call it, fox hunt. But anyway, yeah, just a little while ago, I saw they had a net about the Skywarn net had a thing about the upcoming hurricane season. And of course, they're predicting, they have their usual predictions and everything. Well, this early in the game, I kind of take it all with with the proverbial grain of salt. Maybe later I'll take it seriously, but anyway, all that other stuff, I forgot about what I was going to talk about. But anyway, hope to see everybody at the Swap Shop Saturday and have a great time. So look forward to it. Like I said, there's going to be plenty of things to do. The 52525 thing sounds absolutely fascinating. I've always kind of wanted to get on 52525. The great thing about 6-meter FM is most of the newer HF rigs are capable of that, so you don't have to go out and buy a radio to do 52525. It's kind of an FM frequency, so I may just give that a try if I can cobble together some kind of 6-meter antenna. So with that, I'm going to pass it back to Nep. This is K4REB.
Okay, Rick. Well, maybe you'll get lucky and something will show up at the swap shop this weekend. So we'll work for 6 meters and make you do. Hey, don't hesitate to jump back in if you think of what you forgot there just for a second. Just jump in between. Okay, we're halfway through the second round. This is W8KZT, net controller for the Cape Coral Gabfest. Just for a moment, we're going to ask and see if we have any further check-ins. This is W8KZT.
W8.
Okay, nothing heard. So we're going to turn it over to Mike, KF6FJD. Second round, Mike.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to piggyback on what Ian was saying. I think these radios are getting a little overpriced. There's a lot of gimmicky stuff that we don't need. And hopefully these manufacturers are listening to us. And let's get back to basics and let's get these prices back under control, because I can see now a lot of people are going to be buying a lot of used equipment in the future. And Angelo, it's good to hear you out here, man. I haven't heard you out here in a long time. Haven't heard you on the radio in a long time, so it's good to hear you out here. Hopefully we'll see you at the swap shop. So having said that, I'll take it back to Rick. This is KF6FJD.
Well, thanks, Mike. Again, we'll be looking forward to seeing you over there at the swap shop, and be good to see you again. So, okay. Well, Mike, thank you so much. We're going to turn it over to Tim, W4BTJ.
Oh, BTJ.
Yeah, well, the fox hunt sounds interesting. I remember as a kid, back in the 60s, like you, Rick, doing the CB, trying to find who left their mic keyed. How's that? That was pretty much a fox hunt. Go around and see if you could figure out who tracked down who left their mic keyed. But those were the fun days. But now we, I don't know, it just seems that people don't do that as often anymore. As far as I think fox hunting, I'd like to see it done. I don't know if I'd really be enthusiastic about participating myself, though. But it'd be fun to hear everybody out there trying to track down that fox. So back to you, Rick, W4BTJ.
Yeah, Roger that. Well, it really is a lot of fun, surprisingly. You wouldn't think it would be, but it sure is. I think I mentioned this before. The guys on ours, they would talk for 30 seconds to a minute, would give you a good bearing, and then they gave us like 5 minutes to get to some place, and at that 5-minute point, they would start talking again. So you'd stop and try to get your bearings, to get which direction they're going. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, I think that the club's going to be doing one. For some reason, I read it or something in the newsletter or whatever. But we'll have to check it out. And again, I'll say something about that and find out what's going on and let everybody know next Thursday. Okay, Tim, we'll have a good one, buddy, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. And we're going to turn it over to Angelo, KB4AR.
Good evening, everyone, again, KB4AR. Okay, yeah, it'd be fun to do a fox hunt. I'd be kind of interested in doing that. I don't know if I'd have the stuff to do it with. Actually, I think I have an antenna for it, and I can use a handheld. So, anyway, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it over to the swap shop this week. Haven't been gone for a few days. I got some projects to catch up with around here, so we'll see. Anyway, I'll say 73s to everybody, and have a good week, and hopefully I'll see you over the weekend. This is KB4AR. Back to Matt.
Okay, Angelo, thanks a bunch. And, hey, we'll be like Tom Bodette. We got the light on for you. So if you want to show up, we'll be there. So be good to see you again. All right. One thing I was going to mention also before we jump over to Charles here, with the handhelds, there's a lot of times people miss out on what they can do with those as far as getting an adapter to go to a coax cable that runs to like a magnetic mount or something like that. And I just want to tell you, boy, oh boy, does it improve the performance of your handheld. Now, up in Ohio, which is a hilly, it's not extremely hilly, but pretty much hilly, where I would get on there, sit out in the backyard and at the picnic table and have my mobile antenna that I had, a magnetic mobile antenna. As a matter of fact, I got it sitting right here. I can tell you what the name brand of the daggone thing. It's a Jetstream. And I'd hook up to that thing, and on Simplex, I was going at least 25 to 30 miles with no problem at all. And that's on a 5-watt Anytone, and that worked out really good. So, the guys really need to be innovative, or like everybody else says, go ahead and get a mobile radio. Mobile radios are not that expensive. I saw one on Facebook for like $125. I mean, if you can get one of those, and less than a handheld in most cases. So, the younger guys, they need a little guidance to get them going and get them started, so they don't get frustrated and back out. So, KI4JED. Charles, this is the second round. Good evening.
Well, thank you, Rick, and thanks again for doing the net. We'll see who's going to get a volunteer maybe Saturday on the net next week. Oh, you're right. You can go an adapter, SMA adapter, I think, on some of those handhelds to an outside antenna, and it does wonders. The antenna does great. That's what you need, an outside antenna more so than the mobile, but it does help. You can get a 25 or a 50 watt. And some of the mobiles will go up to 65, 75 watts nowadays. And I believe the FT65 replaced the FT60, and there may be something newer than that. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that right now. But the club did have fox hunts years ago, K9 GCF. That's K9 Good Clean Fun. It was Leon. He pushed fox hunts quite a bit. And Tim, Leon's a silent key now, but Tim kept it going too, KJ4 MUY. But Tim, I haven't seen him at field day lately in a while. He works for Cape Coral, City of Cape Coral. Very active, used to be very active in hams, and young guy for sure, and doing real good. So let's see, that's about it. And if you're going to 6 meters, are you going to FM or sideband? That makes a difference there. FM's a vertical antenna, sideband has a horizontal usually, especially if you're going to go the distance. So I just was curious on that. But that's it. I'll say 7-3. Have a safe week. Hope to see people Saturday at the swap shop. So I'll send it back to Net Control. WAKZT. This is KI4GED.
Well, thank you, Charles. And again, we're going to be looking forward to seeing you this Saturday and everybody else on here. One thing I had Leo put in the newsletter this past week, requesting, a little more participation in some of these nets. And I figure we may be able to get a few more people that we normally don't have, but we didn't. And I'm pretty surprised. And, because we got, 280 or 90 people that are signed up now for the Fort Myers Amateur Radio Club, and you get participation out of all of these great people that we have this evening, and we have a few that weren't in this evening that normally are, but doggone it, there should be more participation in all of these nets, and that's what keeps radio going. And I'll tell you what, we had some very, very interesting information this evening from everybody, a lot of great stories. And Carl, what a fantastic story. Loved it. So hopefully we'll see you down there, too. That'd be great for you to show up again and see you once again. But just want to go ahead and close out this evening. But I will ask for one more call for any further check-ins for the Cape Coral Gabfest. This is W8KZT. Rick, your controller. Okay, nothing heard. With that, I'll go ahead and close out this evening. And I just want to say thanks to everyone for joining us. And as usual, it's always a great time. And I hope you're able to join us again next Thursday, same time, same place on the Simplex frequency. So at this point, we'll close out the Cape Coral Gabfest and return this to normal amateur radio use. Good evening to everyone. Good night.
All right, guys. Let's see here. The premiere is in progress on the on another stream on this channel. There's the direct link that will take you right to it. If you guys could come over, at least give me a thumbs up. Maybe watch for a few minutes. I'm talking about the new Baofeng UV5RM Plus. I'm doing a full review on it, and I talk about the power output, the charging, all the different things that it does. It's really a good video, and hopefully you guys will like it. But that's it. That link I just put in there. And thank you guys for all being here for the Cape Coral Gabfest. This has been the Cape Coral Gabfest, sponsored by the Cape Coral Amateur Radio. The Fort Myers Amateur Radio Club. And we're now going to all switch over to the premiere that's in progress. Thanks for watching tonight. This has been the Cape Coral Gabfest on Starship
W4BTJ,
Adventures.
W8KZT. You still around, Tim?
W8KZT, W4BTJ. I'm here, my friend.
All right. Sounds like your mic's sticking again. But no, Sandy feeling any better?
Yeah, she's feeling better. We go tomorrow to get her new glasses, so hopefully that'll help things a little. But pretty much it. Nothing else is going to happen. They had her, they was going to do another surgery, and she nixed that. She stopped it, said that it ain't worth going through it now.
Yeah, well, I can understand.